Hey guys, what's up? It's iFlynn here, and today we're going to be talking about the importance of droning in my How to Get Good at Rainbow Six Siege series. So, droning and gaining information before you try to take a fight or push into any kind of room is extremely important, especially as an attacker. As a defender, it's a little bit less important using your cameras simply because you have so many other ways of gaining information. For example, standing still, listening for footsteps, although that does also work for attackers. Maybe, you know, putting down traps like Capcom mines or Legion traps or whatever the case may be. You have a lot more ways of getting information as a defender than you do as an attacker. So I'm going to be talking a lot about, you know, using your drone and how you could be effectively using your drone in this episode, because I find players struggle more on attack than they do on defense, because this game is pretty much defender sided, right? Most maps are defender sided. There's very few maps in the game that are like equally balanced, and even then, whenever a map is equally balanced, you feel like you play stronger on defense because you just have more tools at your disposal to gain information on where the enemies are, and you can kind of like control how the match is going to play out as a defender based on how you set up and the traps you put down and all that there type of stuff, or even the doors you barricade or whatever. But you know, let's just get on with the point in the video. So as an attacker, you have two drones, and these two drones are very, very, very valuable to you as a player. I believe personally that you should always be playing this game as if it is a 1v5 all of the time, because you shouldn't really always be relying on your teammates. Teammates are going to give false calls. Teammates are also going to give away your position, and, you know, they're going to try to compete for kills, especially whenever you're playing on elo that is kind of below the plat 2 level, right? Some people don't understand that, you know, you're meant to win this game. This game isn't meant to be about, you know, getting the most frags possible. It is really cool whenever you do get the most frags possible, but this game is more about winning. So, you know, it's important that you keep your drones alive so you can play as a solo player as well as you possibly can, because you can get more information with those two drones rather than having just one, right? So we're playing on Oregon here. I know it's nighttime. It's not usually nighttime. It's going to be daytime if you're playing a rank just for lighting's sake, so you don't get killed by someone camping in a dark corner. But the reason I picked Oregon is because there's a lot of different cool drone spots on Oregon. I'm not going to be showing you a ton, but I'm going to be talking about, you know, how you may want to drone into Oregon. So on this site, there is, you know, 3 floors. You got the top floor with master bedroom and small dorms and the kids' bedroom. You've got the main floor, which has got the classroom, it's got the kitchen, it's got the meeting room. So that's the big room near the back of the map. And then you have laundry, which is down at the bottom. So let's play this as if we're trying to play laundry. And that's why I picked Habana, because there's a hatch just through this front door here that usually as a Habana or a Thermite or any kind of hard breach you would try to get, so then you would have an angle on the enemy player's bomb site, right? So this is guards here, that's the front door right there, and then the classroom window is all the way over here, right? So this is kind of your 3 points of entry if you just want to come from the front, and then you also have windows on the side of the garage and a doorway in the back of the garage. You got an entrance over there, which is a spawn peak there, and then there's another spawn peak there, and they can also spawn peek the front door if they're absolutely insane, but most players don't do that. But, you know, and you can also get peeked from up there in the master bedroom as well. But, you know, this isn't about spawn peeking and whatnot, this is more about droning. So basically what we want to be doing, and the point that I was trying to make there, is that we would be pushing through either the front door or the garage or the classroom, right? So as soon as you spawn in, what you want to do is you want to get as close to this fan as you can while not getting peeked from over there. You want to throw your drone down, and then you want to try and drone yourself into garage, or if you're not droning yourself in, you want to drone your teammates in, right? So you always want to be droning your way into a room or into a map, right? If you're not droning yourself in as an attacker, you're playing this game wrong. The only scenario that I recommend you don't drone is if you 110% know that somebody is currently doing something or sitting in a certain area, and you need to run in as soon as you can to get that frag before they move or change position or whatever the case may be, right? And even then, right, it might be worthwhile to drone out that area in case they have traps set up or something like that. So that is a massive rule that you have to keep in mind whenever you're playing as an attacker, right? So this is just whenever you are running in after the prep phase, right? If you're in the prep phase, what you want to be doing is you want to put your drone in an area that is going to give you good coverage over where you or your teammates are going to want to be. So what I would maybe do is, if we wanted to come through the front door here, I would try to get my drone into that room up there, into armory, right? So what I'm going to do, so I don't get shot by any of the bots with my drone, is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick it up. So you don't have to necessarily keep your drone in the map during the prep phase, right? You can keep it out and you can pick it up, so then you can have your 2 drones on your character. I'm going to shoot open this window, and then what we can do, we can throw our drone in and then put it into a even better position, right? So let's say, for example, we want to elevate it so it's harder for the enemies to see. We can go ahead and pop it up here, and now we have good coverage over armory, right? We can see if there's any enemies in here, and even if your drone gets destroyed, which hopefully it doesn't, I'm being shot at here by a bot. Hopefully it doesn't. If it gets destroyed, you know that there's gonna be an enemy in there. So if it gets destroyed as soon as you throw it in, chances are there's probably someone in there, and I mean, maybe they'll rotate out, you don't know, but in that case, ask a teammate to run in. I know that kind of goes against the whole play it like it's 1v5, but, you know, be a little bit scared if they kill your drone in that room or the room that you threw your drone into, right? So we've got our drone up here. Let's assume that it doesn't get killed. We're just keeping our drone in here in this room. We say to our teammates if there is anyone in here or if they're not, so then they can push in through the front door and not having or not have to worry about this room up here, which is armory, okay? So we drone out armory. What we could also do is we can come down the stairs at that point and drone out classroom, and we can say if there is or is not enemies in classroom. You want to get your drone actually into the rooms and drone out all of the corners before you say if it's clear or not, right? Because if you just, you know, put your drone at the door, look left and right, chances are you're not going to see somebody who's sitting in a corner. You know what I mean? So there's no point like just putting your drone at a doorway looking like this and saying yes or no if a room is clear, because you're just going to get a teammate killed if you're calling out to him if it's clear or not, you know? So would recommend doing that. Get your drone actually into rooms and actually scan the room before making the call on whether or not it's clear, okay? So let's go ahead and try to get our drone into the big room, which is the meeting room. I'll show you kind of how to set up your drone to look and cover those bigger rooms on the map. So we're going to go ahead and head all the way over here to Big Tower. See if there's any there. There's none. So we hit down this barricade right here. So chances are, if we were playing in an actual match, somebody would have heard that, right? So if they're playing bottom floor, throw your drone in and check to see if anybody is holding this bottom floor. Because what they can do is they can shoot for that wood right there, and they can go up here and shoot for the wood up here. So once you hit or open up a barricade like that, put your drone into that room that you destroyed the barricade and check for enemies in all the sort of little hiding spots, or in all the angles that you would personally hold, or just angles that you know enemies like to hold, you know? So if you make noise, drone it out and then find out if it's safe to push. Sometimes what happens is you get unlucky and a teammate, or not a teammate, an enemy is going to just run up after you get off your drone or something like that, and then you still get fragged even though you droned it. Those situations or scenarios, they're just pretty unfortunate in my opinion. The thing is though, you should probably leave your drone in there and have a teammate call out for you whether or not, you know, it's clear to push in. And that's why it's recommended that you play this game with at least one other person in a Discord call or TeamSpeak call with you at all times, at least in my opinion, so you can have them watching your cameras. So you should be droning in for one another. You know, it's very, very, very important. And if you find one friend and practice just droning in and droning out rooms for one another, you're going to see huge success, because so many people in ranked don't do it, and it just gets them murdered. But here is a pretty cool position that I like to use whenever I'm putting a drone in meeting. It is kind of out in the open, but the amount of people who run past this drone is crazy, and it gives you full view of like almost the entire room if you angle it like this, right? You can see the doorway in the far left, you can see the doorway on the right, you can see the doorway on the far right leading from Big Tower, and you'd also see the drop down from the attic, right? So in seeing drone spot, implying the enemies don't see it, and at least in higher elo, it's common for players to hold meeting, right? You'd have somebody holding a meeting, and then you could maybe open up this soft wall and then have somebody holding from tower if you're playing as defenders. So that's why it's important to drone, you know, not only the room that you're intending to go into, but also the room that is connected to the room that you want to go into as well, just to see if there's anybody holding a doorway or a cheeky angle, right? So, you know, that's super important as well. But other than that, it just comes down to droning enemies out, and you'll be able to tell, like, I just go ahead, I drone out these bad guys. There's a nitro up there. There's one enemy there. So what I could do, because I know that that enemy is in there, I just go ahead, I rappel up, and I'm going to get into a power position so I can kill him, right? And not get hit by the nitro. So I droned out, I know where his trap is. I get into the power position, I pre him, and then I pre-fire, and then he's dead, right? So what I just did to that bot is basically the exact same thing that you should be doing to players in ranked games. So, you know, if we just go ahead, we use our drone, you'll see how easier this game becomes. So practice doing this in all of the maps that you play. Oops, somebody in the rooftop. Didn't know he could do that. I don't really play this map a lot in T-Hunt, so that's surprising as well. But, oh wow. Yeah, just play like this. Play T-Hunt Classic like this. You know, use your drone out, and of course be aware of what's happening around you as well. So keep your drone kind of close so you can still hear what's happening around your player. So, you know, you don't want to just get fragged because you're not paying attention to where your player's sitting, but also try to take cover. Don't try to sit near these windows that the players can just shoot through, but sit in better positions, like maybe right here and prone, and then drone for yourself. But there's another one near here. Where is he? I can hear him. He has to be up here, right? Yeah, he is. Why is he barricading that? Weird bots, man. I say weird bots, but people are ranked actually do shit like that. It's crazy. But yeah, so just drone out for yourself. So let's go ahead. We drone in the meeting. We could actually put our drone in the meeting spot so we can see if there's going to be any bots rotating in and out of meeting. If I can get my drone up, it's a little bit hit or miss. You're not going to get your drones in the perfect spots that you want all the time, because, you know, sometimes you just suck at the game, like me, like that. So there we go, we've got it in meeting. We can throw out our other drone now, and we can just swap between the two. So we have a drone that we can use to drone ourselves in the different areas, and then a drone that we can use to watch a particular room, right? So it's important that you have at least one drone acting like a default camera, just sitting in a spot that you know you or your team is going to need to cover. So we just found another enemy. We're going to go ahead, we're going to run down. We know this area right here is clear. What we can do is we can preemptively flash ourselves like an idiot, and then pre-fire. Didn't drone out the guy in the blue tunnel. So let's see if he's at the doorway. We find ourselves. Yep, he's pushing up. He's dead. Simple. There's more in the tunnel. Try to wiggle peek that. The guy close. It's gonna be embarrassing if I die to bots here. Let's see. Is he pushing yet? He's not pushing yet. He's just sitting there. So again, we can try out the flash. Kill him. Easy. There's another flash. Listen for the sound. He's coming to our left. There's one. There's two. You gotta listen for the sign, and you have to sort of play ranked like I'm playing right now. Sit still, wait for the sound, and then peek whenever you know that they're sort of out in the open, right? Because if you're trying to peek them as soon as you hear them on the stairs, right, they're gonna have the advantage on you, you know, because you have to sort of like aim up a little bit. So instead of just sitting like this and having your crosshair placed in sort of this height and then wait until you see his bar off his gun, then you know, he's just gonna sit there and hold that angle. So if he knows you're here, you're making a shit ton of noise, he's just gonna sit on those stairs and wait for you to sort of run out this way, and then you're kind of limiting the options that you have, and you have to run into B site if they happen to be playing down here, right? So let's just go ahead and throw our drone in. See another guy right at the doorway. Cool. There's a nitro to the right of the door or something, if I can find it. Probably just not a good idea to come in here. Maybe it's on top of the body Oh, there it is. I'm completely blind and deaf, my dude. Holy shit. Awesome. Cool. So we got the nitro. Any in the little closet? No. Any in the laundry room? No. Okay, cool. So, you know, we know that the bottom floor is clear, apart from this one guy who felt like coming down main stairs, which we just go ahead and murdered. You want to practice your crosshair placement as well. If you know that the enemy is going to be coming down a particular hallway or something, make sure that you have your crosshair placed in the direction that they're going to be coming from, right? So I know that there may be someone coming from the door, so I'm already pre-aiming at the door through this little wall right here. So whenever I come around, and I'm able to peek like so, or maybe wiggle peek to get info, and then peek him if he commits to the gunfight, right? So, yep, one there, and then one in classroom, and then one down the hallway. So what we're gonna want to do, hide our drone, and then we want to like pre-fire the positions of the enemies, right? Okay, that's hardwall. Never mind. Dufflin. He's behind the hardwall, so we can flash him. Never mind, he pushed out. That flash will still connect, because coincidence, I guess. Where's that bot at? I'm playing like a bot right now. Use our drone again. So the last 3 bots are usually going to push you. In fact, I'm pretty sure they always push. So just play head height with your crosshair placement, like so. I just kill them as they come down the stairs. So you don't necessarily have to aim down sights. You can start firing before you aim down sights, and then the bullet will still connect. Whenever you aim down sights, your crosshair just kind of squeezes together and makes you that little bit more accurate. So you can start firing even before you aim down sights. You're more likely to get the kill. So hopefully that helped a little bit with droning and keeping your crosshair in the right position to get an easy kill and stuff like that. So I don't know what more I can really cover whenever it comes to information gathering, other than keep your drones alive whenever you know where the enemy is. Sort of like keep your crosshair pre-aimed at the position where you know they are, and you know, don't give yourself away by running around too much, because the element of surprise is a great one, right? So it's all about putting yourself in the advantageous position and putting your enemy in the disadvantageous, disadvantageous position. So just put them at a disadvantage, make it so you know where they are, but they don't know where you are. Maybe stun them or something because you know where they're at, and then peek them. But try not to give away your position, and try to find out where they are before you peek them. Drone yourself in the rooms, drone your teammates in the rooms, communicate with your teammates. But most importantly, I think the best tip that I can give is always play it like it's 1v5. You know, drone yourself in the rooms, find out where traps are, find out the information, and find out exactly where enemies are for yourself, instead of relying on college from teammates. They're important, they're valuable, but you shouldn't, you know, blame a teammate for not calling out where an enemy is or something like that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead, hit that like button below. If you want to see more Rainbow Six Siege content, hit subscribe with the little bell icon, and I'll see you guys in the next video.